in a world where loyal companions await, one place stands as their beacon of hope. The Pet Resource Center of Hillsborough County, where you can adopt your very own superhero. Adopt a dog. Find your sidekick and unlock the power of unconditional love. Suit up, show up, and adopt today. For more information, visit hcfl.gov/pets.
All right, good morning. Mayor Jane Castor, pinch hitting for Commissioner Ken Hagan, who is the chair of our council. This is the quarterly meeting in the Hillsborough County Tourist Development Council, August 14th, 2025. So we will call the meeting to order and have a roll call.
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair. Hagan is a no. He called with a conflict. Castor.
Here.
Antonaccio. Collier. Here. Gonsmart Williams. Here. Kilton. Mayor Kilton contacted me and also said he had a conflict. Mackinac. Manthe.
Here.
Morrison.
Here.
Placencia.
Here.
And Ross. And Mayor Ross contacted me. He's at a League of Cities meeting and had a conflict. So we do not have a quorum. We still can meet, and we just can't take any votes or have discussions on any item that might come to a vote in a future meeting.
Okay. Does that include our review of the minutes?
Minutes will, again, they're just, you have to pass.
No problem. Make that meeting a bit shorter.
Yes,
it will.
All right,
sir. Well, that takes us up to you and your administrative report.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. If you will, just turn to the section of quarterly financials. I'll be quick. We have some guests with us today. We want to honor their time. There really is nothing of note. The biggest thing is we're still running a favorable variance on revenues over expenses. That's good news, both for the 3 cent as well as the 6 cent. And as we move into the fourth quarter, we'll be wrapping up payments that are associated with the various contracts for the entities that are here. You're very familiar with them. So nothing of note in the quarterly financials. If you'll turn to the collections data, you'll see that first month that we've had a negative. But we're still running at almost 14% over year to date for the year. Expecting the next quarter, because if you remember, there's lag in the reporting of the data versus where it's recorded, and we expect some strong convention activity over the summer that will hopefully be shown in the collection numbers. So you'll see in the first table, the 6 cents, so we're at 63.6 million already as compared to 65 million last year. If you turn the page to the 3 cent, you'll see it's 31.8 million for the 3 cent portion as compared to 32.5. And then the next table is the 6 cent. And again, all are the same percentage growth rates, but we're at 10.6 million as compared to 10.8 last year with 2 more months to report. And then lastly, we can show the graphic, which has the last several years in comparison. And again, nothing of note there. That really concludes my financial report. And if you have any questions about the information, I'd be happy to answer those questions.
Anybody have any questions?
No.
Good. All right. We have a presentation from the SS American Victory Shipping Museum. Bill, good to see you.
Yep. Yeah, Bill? Yeah, we have a video first, and then Bill's had a PowerPoint presentation as well. For context, we've been in conversations with the Victory Ship folks about improvements they need, repairs, and we've had great meetings and good overview, and I felt it was important that they come here and present to the TDC, and then I'll follow with some conversation about some recommendations that we'd like to make.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, distinguished council, thank you for having me here today. It's exciting for us. I get accused of speaking too much sometimes, so we're going to try to roll this video, which will tell our story pretty well. Am I? Maybe there's not a video to show.
Well, it's been tested.
Guess you're going to have to talk too much.
I will get to talk too much then. Okay,
Let's see if we can get it rolling.
okay. And we do have it separately if it helps. So,
Yep.
again, thank you for having me here today. If we get that video going, it'd be fantastic. The American Victory, I hope most of the folks in the room are familiar with the American Victory. Very proud of her service. She's been in Tampa 25 years. She's achieved a milestone of 80 years of age this year, too. We've been celebrating that all year. Very proud of her service in World War II, Korea and Vietnam. I always tell the community she still serves today by training with law enforcement, firefighters, police officers, FBI, working dogs, kids in education, you name it. Very proud of all we do. In fact, I think I'm going to turn to Anthony. I think we've got firefighters there today and tomorrow doing training with the Hillsborough County delegation. We are very proud of our role in the community. We do not get a tremendous amount of public support for dollars. The county has been good to us with some grants over the years. We're excited to be here as part of this opportunity to continue to improve her. She's got a 20-year, well, we got 16 years left on our 20-year agreement with the Port Authority where we're at. We always say we're in a wonderful location, horrible spot, because we are a little hidden by our friends at the Florida Aquarium. And I think it's important, too, to note, a lot of the organizations that this group supports, you see a lot of what they do for the community, the aquarium, what they do for coral reefs and some of their centers across the way for sea turtles and marine life. You've got a lot going for education with the Children's Museum. You've got a lot going with, just the arts and entertainment world. And while we're proud of our history, we're really proud of our president as well because, again, of all the things we do for the community. In fact, last night we hosted a group from SOCOM, which is called the Ghost Group. It's a training program for folks to learn how to be better activists in their military roles. And so we hosted a function for them over there last night through our former friend, Hondo Gertz, who was a former Assistant Secretary of the Navy. I don't want to take up too much time, so I'm going to leave time for questions. The ship was built in 1945 in 55 days, which is a pretty amazing feat. I always joke you can't get a permit in 55 days anymore. It is not the macro, though. It's the micro. When you see that this ship came together in so many ways, yeah, you can stitch a lot of steel together with some welding, but when you see all the intricacies in there that come together that bring that ship alive, it's pretty amazing. We also celebrate our Rosie the Riveter heritage because it was an industry that brought women into a workforce and minorities into a workforce that were not well represented in the past. And we're proud of our relationship with the port. We're proud of our relationship with the port community, the port shipyards. And some of the things that we need to accomplish as we go through the years are we have to dry dock every 5 years. An expensive process, and in fact, with another county grant, we supported our last dry docking. That's coming up again in 2027. But we always, we have to go through that process. So not that we don't want to, but we have to, and it's an expensive process, so we save our dollars for that and are not always ready to invest dollars in other areas of the ship that need attention. If you've been out, who's been out to the American Victory? Good to see. If you see in our paint job, many years ago, we were, it was suggested we were just that old rusting gray Hulk back there. So we invested a lot of effort into making her be more part of the community, and we've got attention devoted to our sports teams in there. We've got some lightning and rays colors. We've got the Bucks on the bottom of our hull. We've got a lightning, not a trademark issue, but we have a lightning bolt on our bow as well to kind of bring some attention to it. And we're excited about that, but that process costs a lot of money. We've also need some attention to our main decks, which is something that we're talking about here today. And I'm not sure, are we all looking at this presentation?
Do we have the PowerPoint?
We're still working on it, sir.
Well,
Okay.
it's,
Okay, I'll just keep talking. Again, that's apparently
you're doing a great job.
It's a strength, right? She was activated several times. In fact, recently she did, in the 80s, she did a victory ship validation program. Again, she's one of 3 remaining out of 534 ships that served in World War II of her class. And we were proud to say that she passed this validation program, but was not deemed fit for emergency service. Not because she couldn't do it, but because cargo had changed so much with containerization that we no longer had the equipment to do that. In 1996, Captain John Timmel, retired harbor pilot, I'm sure many folks know him, he decided that he was up in Baltimore and found that there was a similar vessel, a Liberty ship, and that ship was activated and made a museum, and he said, why can't we do that down in Tampa? And he was the impetus for that to get it down. Here came down in 1999, and is still serving proudly today. She is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and again, one of 3 remaining, which to me really touches my heart. Financial operations were very sound. We've got a great, the 2 ladies behind me, raise your hands. Oh, they're trying to solve a problem. They're instrumental in our day-to-day operations and keeping me, making me look good, which is not an easy task. But our financials are in fantastic order right now. We've got a great board of directors. Maybe somebody's here today. Our dry docking estimations, there we go. Our dry docking estimations change with the offerings that we need to get done. It is an inspection. So we go into it with our friends in the United States Coast Guard. They inspect us twice a year in general, but then they come in and do our inspection for our dry docking. And essentially we have to strip the hull down to bare steel, let them inspect and see what's going on, and take readings and measurements and decide how much work we need to get done to remain seaworthy. And then once we kind of come to that point, then we can decide to do additional things, whether that's brightening up the paint job. There's my hidden lightning bolt up there. And doing some other activities as well. There's a lot done in the engine room with sea valves and all kinds of activities. Some of those items are very expensive. Our friends in the shipyard, at all 3 shipyards, have been fantastic to us over the years, and we're already talking about getting into our next 2027 dry docking. One of the things that came up recently, not recently, it's an ongoing issue, is we take a lot of wear and tear in that salt and seawater environment everywhere. The heat of the summer, as we already experienced that today. And it takes a lot of wear and tear on our decks, which are very solid. They're thick steel, thicker than is required in today's shipbuilding. But they are a little bit unsightly, and it's also something we try to keep up to snuff for safety. For guests walking around, you don't want anybody to slip. We have special coatings we put down. And so we spoke to Anchor Sandblasting to get 1 quote to do all of our decks with a non-skid surface, which keeps folks from slipping, as well as doing our main stack. I'm seeking an additional quote as well for that. So we'll have a little bit of a competitive bid. It's a little different. You need a marine coating company to be able to do the work properly. In fact, years ago, we had it done by a commercial painting team. And while they did a wonderful job and they put a lot of effort into it, it's just not the same as having a marine coating group do it. So we are relying on folks from one of our shipyards or their folks to come out and help us out with this. Jump on more. There's a lot of other activities that we're looking at doing. I often joke that it's red tape keeping us from steaming right now. We could get that plant up and running if we needed to. Our friends at the Coast Guard disagree with us. They inspect us as if we're crossing the North Atlantic in heavy seas, and that's kind of our place. So we are still working towards that goal. It is not a priority for us right now, but it's something we're working towards. We got some great team of engineers. You see some of those folks in those pictures now working towards that. And we also want to upgrade the experience overall. So over time, we'd like to get to the point where the dock is a lot more welcoming for people to come down to. Maybe there's some interaction with our friends at the aquarium. Maybe there's some other park-like things that can happen down there, and to really just enhance the experience overall of coming down and make it inviting. With that, sir, I'd sure love that video to play. I got it? Okay.
Just in the nick of time.
Which TV to look at?
By the time the U.S. entered World War II in 1941, the Nazis occupied most of Europe. London was bombed continuously, while German U-boats patrolled the Atlantic. And the destruction of the American fleet in Pearl Harbor allowed the Japanese to capture British territories in Southeast Asia and control the Pacific. Germany and Japan were confident they were in control. They were wrong.
These Nazi submarines and raiders are the rattlesnakes of the Atlantic. When you see a rattlesnake poised to strike, you do not wait until he has struck before you crush it.
Despite the Nazi blockade of Britain, the merchant mariners of the United States were committed to delivering ammo, food, and fuel to our allies in Western Europe. But the hundreds of German submarines stalking the shipping lanes sank every American cargo ship they could find. Instead of giving up and ceding control of the Atlantic to Hitler, we gave those U-boats more fight than they could handle. We undertook the largest shipbuilding operation in history. Over 2,000 ships were produced from 18 shipyards, ready to carry planes, trucks, train cars, ammo, fuel, food, and troops across the Atlantic and Pacific to face the enemy directly. Because of the American victory, her sister ships, and the brave mariners who clawed their way through hordes of deadly U-boats and kamikaze pilots, the Allies had the troops and equipment to retake ground and force a surrender in Germany and Japan. Of the 534 Victory-class ships that served in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, the American Victory is one of only 3 that remain. Today, she is crewed by an outstanding group of veterans and volunteers, and although her fighting days may be over, she still finds ways to serve her community by offering a unique space for active duty and reserve troops, firefighters, and law enforcement to train specific skills to keep our communities safe. And by keeping alive the memory of those who gave everything to make sure the Allied forces had everything they needed to keep the world safe. Now it's our turn to make sure she has everything she needs to keep pushing forward.
It's much better than I could do. What's neat in that video, too, is it shows a couple of volunteers. Some of those guys are no longer with us, but just an amazing talent that has helped us out over the years. And, you know, the odds of these ships surviving in the wartime environment were pretty impressive. And, in fact, the American Victory was launched for the invasion of Japan. And as we all know, that did not take place. She was loaded along with 2 other cargo ships with the same exact cargo load, so they hoped that one of them would make it through, just to give you a little bit of an idea there. And I would love to answer questions if you have any.
Any questions? All right, Ron, did you have a?
I did, thank you. If you'll look in your package, the last page of this section for the Victory ship, I gave you a little narrative to remind you under the 6th cent. We have a program called the Cultural Facilities Matching Grant Program. It's a 1-for-1 match with TDT dollars out of the 6th cent. And there's a set number of entities that are programmed and eligible for this. And you can see those in your list. I'll read them quickly just for the audience. But the Children's Museum of Tampa, Lowry Park Zoo, Museum of Science and Industry, Tampa Bay History Center, Tampa Bay Performing Arts Center, Tampa Museum of Art, Tampa Theater, and the Florida Aquarium. And the proposal that I have is that we would add the Victory ship as an eligible entity. You make application. It's projects of merit. As I said, they're 1-for-1 matches. We modified the program after we had it up and running and saw, you know, how reality was. We created an opportunity for 1-year grants, 2-year grants, or 3-year grants. So it can go from $500,000 up to $1.5 million, generally assuming it's a 2 or 3 year project type of thing. It fit better with the entities that we were dealing with, and it's worked very well. So again, we can't vote today, but one of the recommendations I would have, and I would like to go ahead and take this to the Board of County Commission, because what we have to do is amend the program, and it's adopted by the BOCC, and add them to the list. And so since we can't vote, if you, I don't believe there's any prohibition to the fact that we'd just like to get any feedback or comments about both the Victory ship and, you know, the intent to take this to the board.
And just for the committee's reference, this type of facility is an authorized use of tourist tax revenues because it's owned and operated by not-for-profit and open to the public. So this would be a qualified facility.
Just an observation. I think that from the first time that the ship was proposed to be moved and docked, it's created an interesting but yet a alternative opportunity for those who visit our city to see something that has a much bigger story than just us. I was fortunate enough, my dad served in World War II, and although he passed about 9 years ago, we talked about the ship and how valuable those who were on the ground in Europe felt whenever rations and supplies arrived. So my perspective is a little bit more than just reading a history book, but listening to him talk about the importance of remembering these kinds of the elements that helped us to be successful. It just makes sense that if we have a chance to elevate that conversation and that memory, then we're, for tourism purposes, it's an interesting addition to the menu we offer. So I think it makes all the sense in the world, and glad to hear that it's being proposed to move to the list.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent. Luke?
Yeah, just a quick question on marketing. My assumption is that you're working with Visit Tampa Bay and getting their assistance in the marketing. I just want to make sure that's,
yes, sir.
That's in fact happening. Also, and I'm not trying to open up a can of worms, is there an opportunity to relocate the ship to a much more visible venue so you're not covered up by the Florida Aquarium?
It's not an easy answer. Any place that we could go is either a location that's not easily accessible by the public or would need perhaps some dredging or other activity to happen to do that. Obviously, we would be open. I love the aquarium. They're wonderful people. Roger's a good friend, but we're a little buried back there. But yes, sir, there's other opportunities, but they're not just an easy move as far as accessibility mostly.
Thank you.
So,
congratulations on your successes.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for your efforts.
Without a doubt. Any other comments?
Just a quick question. Thinking about VTB and your comment, Lou, is there, if you're collaborating with the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and you're talking about kind of knocking the rust off and, rehabilitating the boat in that fashion, is there anything from a venue standpoint that might be better served, or not better served, but in addition, spend some dollars on to make it a venue that works for us to attract groups as a waterfront destination? I mean, I've been on the ship crawling around. It's very interesting. I think the nostalgia is there. But if you're going to put groups on there and actually use it as a venue, is there anything we could do to the boat to make it more attractive for Santiago and his crew?
I think primarily, sir, the biggest thing is creature comforts. So we're looking at some different proposals and ways to create a cooler environment for people, frankly, is one of the biggest struggles we have once we get them to the door. We do want to do some more interactive exhibits. We want to do some more educational programs on board through some of those exhibits, something engaging for the kids. It's often talked about. Troy had some great ideas about some even the climbing interaction kind of things to relive that troops going overboard kind of thing. So there's a lot we'd like to do. I think probably primarily it's being able to cool guests down. Once in a while it's too cold on board, but we all know that's rare. Most of the time it's just really hot and stuffy. We have cool down stations throughout. We got about a half a dozen cool down stations so guests can just sit down and cool down for a few minutes while they're there, but that's one of our bigger issues. I hope that answers the question.
Can you do a tent up on deck though and have 500 people up there for an outdoor venue and for a
Yes,
cool
yes, sir.
event?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We do a lot of events as well.
Troy? Yeah, it's hard to, there you go.
All right, here we go. So in full disclosure, I do sit on the American Victory Board and have so for, I guess, tens of years now. I also have a unique connection with the boat as I'm a fifth generation unlimited master and first class pilot and grew up on a steamboat. I captained the ship on its first cruise with passengers under steam here in Tampa, along with Captain Timmel, who is the pilot. Seeing the ship out in the bay and steaming was just incredible. To see the World War II vets, Korean vets, and other vets aboard that were incredibly emotional, incredibly appreciative, was an experience I will never forget. The ship is an incredible training ground. There's not a week that doesn't go by that some form of agency is not training on the ship. We were testing our new water taxis, and there's firemen climbing over the side of the ship just last week. So this is ongoing, and the Victory ship just kind of takes it for granted. One of the biggest challenges of the ship is, and the reason it hasn't required a lot of assistance is the retired military and the veterans have kept the ship up. And as we know, there's fewer and fewer every day. So we are working on initiatives to get the youth involved in the ship, but it is going to require more resources because we just don't have the volunteer hours that we were customary to getting with the World War II vets. So I'm very passionate about the ship. Everyone that visits the ship from the water taxis is blown away. I would say it's a wow type of experience, kind of a hidden gem in our cultural pearl gems we have here on the Riverwalk. So with that said, when we do get to a vote, I would abstain, but the ship is an extremely worthy cause.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like Andrew?
I just wanted to make a small comment. I've lived in Tampa my whole life. I've never been on the ship, which I'm ashamed of. But and I'm absolutely going to come. And before the meeting, I was looking over the packet, and her story is beautiful. And the fact that you have maintained her here in Tampa with such small funding, it's shocking to me that we haven't supported it up until now. So I agree with everyone else who has said it, that I think we need to be behind this.
Excellent. Well, again, sounds like overwhelming support, and we owe a debt of gratitude to those volunteers that have kept the ship in good order, not only for their service there, but also for their service to our country. And it really is an incredible asset when you talk about the training for first responders, but also as a reminder to young people about the history of our country, and just a really cool asset to be able to go through. I've been on it many times. And as far as a new location, I think that we may, as our waterfront develops in the future, there may be opportunities for a more visible location. But we should ensure that we are communicating with everyone, with the convention center, with the aquarium, with all at the history center, that everyone that visits any of those locations understands the Victory ship is there and the importance of it. So we know it takes a lot of rust, or a lot of maintenance for the rust. I always think that Neil Young always said rust never sleeps. So
the rust part is easy.
You have to keep up on. But thank you and your team, everybody that has worked so hard to provide that amazing asset for our community. And I'm sure that this, in our next quarterly meeting, it will be a unanimous vote. So thank you for bringing it forward, and thanks, Ron, for your efforts in this too.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, next we have the Convention Center and the Tampa Bay Visitors Bureau presentation, which is always fun.
So, Mayor Castor, thank you, and council members, appreciate your time today. JoLynn Loki with Visit Tampa Bay. I have a lot of slides, but we can go through it fairly quickly. You'll see Q3 performance here for STR, and although Hillsborough County is down, we were at our best quarter last year. We just had an exceptional quarter with layers of group on top of each other, one that's going to be hard to repeat. But what is good is that revenue for that same quarter is up. And you'll see the occupancy over 3 years, again, slightly down for the quarter. However, ADR is up, and revenue per available room, again, slightly up. And the most important part is revenue is up for that same period. So if you look at the 4 quadrants, downtown, Again, 4% down over last year of that phenomenal quarter and all that group business. But still, again, revenues are up. East Tampa and North are going to follow the same trajectory with their slightly down in occupancy over our best quarter, but revenues are up. And then West Shore, not quite as down in occupancy, and their ADR is significantly up. And we can attribute that to Eric Hart and our friends over at Ray J for several huge concerts, as well as a couple festivals as well. So with our competitive set, although we're fourth after the usual suspects, Orlando, Nashville, Fort Lauderdale, it's only it's less than 2 points, so we're about a 0.3 under our competitors in occupancy. Where we start to lag a little further behind is our daily rate. Again, that's because those usual suspects have a lot of higher end product in hotels in those cities, so it's hard to get the rate that they bring in. Revenue per available room follows that. And then if you look at the actual collections, and this is only through May, collected in June, where revenues are up for this quarter over the last 2 quarters. And you can see it since the beginning of our fiscal year. We anticipate that July collections came in, and although it was our first month in a while that we haven't vested, we're excited at looking at the STR reports that have come in through August 9th so far, and we're 10% up in occupancy for the first 9 days, and then revenues are up by 25%. So we're expecting our projections is that we're going to end at $1.2 billion in total revenue for the year. Collections for the quarter, again, a little better on revenue over the last quarter, and you can see from the beginning of the fiscal year, hopefully that line is going to continue not to go down, but maybe slightly up the last 6 weeks. And then our team is busy, 100 events in just 1 quarter, so that's every day. Every day we have a group of travel writers, or we're out in our feeder markets in the Northeast. We did a couple takeovers at some baseball games in New York and in Boston, so those proved to be very successful. Destination leadership with our peers and a lot of partners around the room. And then, of course, tourism advocacy is becoming more and more important for us. Santiago and I are working with the state so that they understand the importance of this council and our revenues to each individual community. So hopefully those uses for the TDT don't continue to erode away in Tallahassee. And then with our partners, and thank you, Andrea and Joe and Troy around the room, we couldn't do this without you guys. Every time we have a group in town, we're calling one of you and helping us. And this quarter alone, $60,000 in kind. So again, thank you very much. And 51 new partners. Our partner engagement has been better than ever, and we are on the heels of 1,000 partners. So exciting for us, exciting for our group. Our partner engagement, again, has never been better. So that small partnership team as well. There's an issue with workforce development in the tourism industry, and all of these are assets downtown, and having an issue with filling them up and getting them into the community to work. So we partnered with Hillsborough County Schools and started the Tourism Academy, and you'll see a group of interns there that worked at the JW for the summer, and Ron's not here, but they were paying the interns more than we were paying our part-timers. And I'm like, thanks a lot, Ron. But so we're working, so in each classrooms, we have 4 high schools so far, and we're connecting them with one of our with different partners, such as the Renaissance and International Plaza, to create these classrooms to show that tourism is exciting and get people excited that maybe not be going to college, but for some of these other programs in the culinary arts, et cetera. And then we're also working with USF and their hospitality program. So this was a group of first-time college students and their family headed to USF and giving them a little bit of a taste of the tourism industry as well. Our convention sales team, this past quarter, 93 groups actualized, which you can see was 66.7 million in economic impact. And then they're busy booking for future years. So this same period, they booked 137 groups, which is anticipated economic impact of over 124 million. And some of those groups are committed and booked out to, I believe, 2035 was as far out as we have them booked. And then these are some of the places our team was on the road. Right now, actually, Santiago is on a plane back from LA. They were at ASAE. That's one of the acronyms that we're not going to be able to get because we don't have, our exhibit size at the center is not quite big enough. So even though it's only 5,000 attendees, so that's one that we have on our future radar. But exciting news, our booth, we decided to invest a little bit more money in our booth. Instead of going ourselves and putting the floor down, we had a third party create this 2-story interactive booth at the conference. We got second for Best in Show and had more activity in our booth than ever before. So they're coming back with a pocket full of leads and very hopeful and happy of what has transpired out in LA. This is our over to marketing and leisure. This is our campaign from the beginning of the fiscal year through May. And you can see that 167,000 additional leisure room nights were booked through this one campaign. And what's important to note is that ADR is $236. That's our downtown rate, so that's a very good rate to bring in. Summer Drive campaign, we're continuing to focus on Atlanta, Orlando, and Miami, driving people into the market. And here's our new 30-second video, changed our tagline a bit, and now it's time to do. Said I'm all about it. Yeah, I'm all about it. Said I'm all about it. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. So, and then some of our creative time that we have in those aforementioned markets. I believe this is Atlanta, video wrap up in Atlanta, so that's got a lot of attention for us. And then, of course, Miami, Spanish speaking. And then this was new for us. We did a social media campaign with a bunch of dog lovers, and these dogs actually have more of a social media following than probably all of us collectively. So this has got a lot of feedback and a lot of interest. And then we traveled to our marketing and leisure teams, traveled with our local artists to Hamburg and Amsterdam. So again, creating a lot of interest in the community and keeping those international flights full. Some that's in the news that's come out of our work. And then here you'll see some of the results for social media and those campaigns. And what's important to note here is those 63 million impressions. These are not paid impressions. These are the results of all the activities and bringing people into the market and doing the takeovers in other markets as well.
Ooh, baby, I love your way every day. Shadows grow so long before my eyes, and they're moving.
So, and then this is on all the Avianca flights. Just our direct flight to go, which is called the flights. So when you get on the flight and you're forced to watch this little video. So we're very happy, very proud of that. And then the corporate transient program that we started last year, these are the results for just this last Q3. You can see that it generated 68,000 room nights, and these are some of the assets where we're marketing. And then, of course, to Make It Tampa Bay, 59 million impressions to our future workers of Tampa. And that's all I have. Any questions?
Go ahead.
You mentioned advocacy in Tallahassee. We're under siege. The tourism industry is by far the most attractive target right now, tourism dollars, TDC dollars around the state. And I would just encourage members here in the audience and members here on the council to reach out to your elected officials in Tallahassee and remind them of the importance of tourism dollars and the impact of tourism dollars. And more importantly, remind them that our employees vote.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I want to second that too. I reference that everywhere I go, and just as I presented our 2026 proposed budget to council, it's critically important. We just had Meet the Projects day before last with the EDC, and the businesses, which happens historically, they say one of the reasons that they move here, not because Tampa Bay is the greatest location in the world, but in addition to that, because of the friendly tax structure. And we have to ensure that while the narrative is that counties and cities are spending the money ineffectively, which is not true, that we depend, even our property tax that we bring in as a city, and I know it's the same for the county, doesn't even cover our first responders. And so the state needs to understand the significance of our property tax revenue and our sales tax. We don't have a state income tax, and that makes our state very attractive, and we are good stewards of the tax dollars. So I echo that, Lou. Thank you.
Agreed. Thank you, Mayor. And I have numbers, I have sound bites, so any information that you need, happy to share. Last year alone, Mayor, in 2024, our visitors brought in $683 million in state and local taxes. Mm-hmm. So that's a lot of revenue that our visitors are bringing here to fill up those coffers, as opposed to attacking the $70 million in TDT.
Mm-hmm. And we can also look at how that can come to a screeching halt with the pandemic. And so to say that counties and cities need to use that, to rely on that as a resource, or to pull that back is just not fair.
Thank you.
The other thing I think I'd like to offer, and actually to the council, I need to check with the Hotel Association Board, but we do an annual wage and benefit survey. And there is an ongoing negative stereotype that wraps around our industry that says we don't pay folks, to be blunt. Nothing could be further from the truth. When you begin to see the actual data, I'm blown away by what our hotels in particular and our comparative partners like our restaurants are paying residents of this county to be able to take care of their families and take care of their loved ones and to do the things that creates quality of life. I'd love to maybe get with you, Ron, to see if our next quarterly meeting, if the board allows me, to kind of give a synopsis of what that survey looks like, because we don't talk about it enough, and there's an impression that if you're working in the tourism industry, you're looking at dead-end jobs, you're looking at dead-end opportunities, no career path. Nothing could be further from the truth. So I'll check with you. I'll get with you, Ron, and see if that can't be a subject that we bring to the table to tell the rest of the story at our next quarterly meeting.
And we also have some data that will enhance that as well. State data working with USF. So we have those reports as well from Career Source that we were working on them with. But, yeah.
Any other comments? I want to say thanks and also give an additional shout out to Visit Tampa Bay and the Tampa Convention Center. We're the only region in the United States that has hosted the National League of Cities, the NACO, National Association of Counties, the National Association of County Administrators, and the U.S. Conference of Mayors, all in 1 year.
Correct.
And so, and they were all very, very successful events and very well attended. I also want to thank everyone on the council and really everyone in the Hillsborough County area for your assistance. That's one of the many elements that makes us such a great community and region, is that everybody steps up to help. Everyone on this council and throughout the community, if we call and ask, hey, we have this group coming, could you help us out with this? Could you help us out with this? Everybody comes forward because they understand that if we work collaboratively, it's a benefit for our entire community. So thank you for the work that you do, and thanks to everybody on the council as well. One last thing I would say, and I think Lou and Joe brought this up also, are those room rates. Although we are bringing some higher end hotels on to our slate of available properties here, that we do need to be very cognizant of raising those rates. I've been on a number of, especially with the NCAA, on trips to bring those conferences and conventions, and I can tell you it matters what those hotel rates are. And I've seen us win events and other communities lose them because of our favorable room rates and looking at quantity more than that top dollar. So appreciate that too.
One other item, Mayor.
Go ahead.
I just want to signal another accolade to Visit Tampa Bay. To its credit, any number of conventions who come to our city are looking for ways to give back. And Visit Tampa Bay has embraced and understood that we really don't share with our community sufficiently, that when these conventions are coming to Tampa, they're not just coming, residing downtown, going to a restaurant or bar, and then that's it. They are truly seeking out our not-for-profit organizations, looking to do work days and contribution days, and leaving behind what in their minds are legacies of their visit to our city. So my congratulations to Visit Tampa Bay and the team for understanding that that's the other, and we talk about the rest of the story. Those conventions coming to our city isn't just those delegates coming to have a good time. They're coming intentionally wanting to make Tampa a better place to live and to work and to enjoy, and touching those who truly need that assistance. So kudos to Visit Tampa Bay for understanding how valuable that story is and making those proactive efforts to tell that story.
Thank you. And credit to Adam and his team, because they really care about that as well, and they tout that and push people to go into our community. So.
And a great example of that was our most recent Divine Nine group that came, the fraternity that provided, I believe it was $25,000 check to the Skills Center. So that's great, giving back. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I didn't cover public comment, but by looking at the audience, I assume there wasn't any. I see more people coming. Would you like to make a public comment, sir?
Hello.
Sir, if you could just come to the podium first. You got it right. If you could share your name and appreciate
My
it.
name is Irvin Shell. I'm starting a Heritage Center in South County.
Okay.
I think that starting something in South County and expanding tourism to South Hillsborough County will be a plus. We have a new high school out there, Morgan High School. They have culinary and a lot of things going on. We have a lagoon out there. We got a historic airstrip from World War II that people don't know about. It's a strong history of agriculture out there. And I would like for Ife Heritage Center and the council to start considering South Hillsborough County. We have not big hotels, but we have some smaller hotels going on. The county is planning a new downtown effort out there. So I'm just here to say, let's include South Hillsborough County in these movements. I would love to partner with Visit Tampa Bay and everything like that to start bringing some energy out to South Hillsborough County, because we caught in the middle. We have Sarasota, we have St. Pete, we have Clearwater, we have downtown Tampa, but that's a long distance away from all the new communities that are being built out there. So we could start and expand our tourism to consider to include Hillsborough County. That's what I would like.
Excellent. Great idea. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Make sure Jolynn tackle him as he goes by. And he's correct. In other activities that we have, our special events program, for example, we stress getting these events out into the community. Certainly downtown has lots of assets and opportunities, but where we can promote other areas of our community, our cities, as well as our unincorporated county, we try to do that. We forget how big Hillsborough County is.
Right.
Try and drive it from end to end one day, not during Monday through Friday.
Right.
And but we are truly trying to do that. And I've always felt ecotourism, in particular our South County area, is something that we could really promote more and cultivate. And so appreciate his comments and just wanted to share that.
Excellent. And we could look at it as a destination, but also what I've seen in a lot of the conferences and conventions that we're hosting is that instead of staying in and going through the presentations at the host hotels, that the groups want to go out and visit best practices. And so that's something that we should probably start to factor into our pitches for conferences and conventions. Great job.
Yep.
All right, any other discussion?
It's a wrap.
Y'all good? All right, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you, guys. Meeting's adjourned.